Hi, we're Group 10. I'm Joy. Today we're going to talk about our society. You may think, what could we say about that? After this video, you might have a different opinion. First, let us ask you a question. Is today's society a consumerist society? You have 3 seconds to think about that. 3, 2, 1. Do you have an answer? If not, don't worry. You may not think about it before, but you must have heard this.
Where you go in life is up to you. There's one airline that can take you there, United. It's time to fly.
Or this.
Go deep. Dive deeper. Get lucky. Go wild. Now flip out your phone, boyo, and tap on oil.
Or this.
Get ready to play big. It's the all-new Toy Story Land, now open at the Walt Disney World Resort.
As we can see nowadays, from traveling to accommodation to entertainment, we need to consume everywhere at any time. Even right now, in this class, we spend our money on getting education. So go back to the question, is today's society a consumerist society? Our answer is yes. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the consumerism is a theory that an increase in consumption of goods is economically desirable. Also, it's an inclination toward buying of consumer goods. So, when and how does consumerism emerge in the industry of hospitality? What are the positive effects of it? Please welcome Mengshu. She will tell more about that.
Thank you, Joy, and let me talk about the positive effects of consumerism. In general, consumerism is an important component of the concept for supply and demand because it involves the supply of the goods and services and the consumption of the goods and services by the individual consumers. The consumerism has 5 advantages. It can increase the economic output and create jobs. It can also lead to increases in wealth for companies. It promotes the competition between companies. It allows for a large variety of goods and services and improves the quality of life for people. For example, in the hospitality industry, people's demand for higher quality motivates the innovation of the industry and made the hotels evolve to different levels. The word hospitality comes from hospice, an old French word meaning to provide care and shelter for the travelers. Between 4000 and 2000 BCE, the early civilizations in Europe, China, Egypt, and India all had some elements of hospitality offerings, such as taverns and inns along the roadside. At that time, traveling may be a luxury good for some people, but in today's society, people travel for relax in their free time, and there are different scales of hotels now. The hotels in the luxury scale are built like amusement parks, and the travelers can enjoy different activities like the spas inside the hotels. However, consumerism can also have some negative influences. Let's welcome Tianqi to talk about it.
Thank you, Mengshu. However, nowadays, the original purpose of consumption, which is to exchange goods people need, seems to be overwhelmed by people's desire to purchase. We purchase too many unnecessary goods due to our infinite desire. Adults like to take advantage of Black Friday by spending several paychecks on those sales goods, and they will figure out a few days later that they don't really need what they bought and regret for a while. But the next year, they will definitely forget about it and rush to Macy's anyway. Same in China. During the Double 11 festival, hotels also designed special events for consumers to buy more goods. For example, during this period, users can log in the OI Hotel app daily to collect coupons. If they collect enough coupons, they will have a chance to empty the shopping cart. For teenagers, when their idols show up in public with the latest fashion, they are stepping up the celebrities' choice of shoes and eyeglasses before they run out of stock. After a few weeks, these items will be abandoned and something new will appear on celebrities. Then the teenagers will struggle to buy them as they used to. This kind of consumption model is called fast fashion. This kind of fast fashion, according to UN Environment Program, actually produced much more waste than we thought. According to BWSS, Fashion is the second most polluting industry on earth, right behind oil. Fast fashion industry negative impact include the use of cheap toxic textile dyes, with the fast industry the second largest polluter of clean water globally after agriculture. In Canada, the average person threw out 81 pounds of textile annually, while North Americans send 9.5 million tons of clothing to a landfill every year, most of which could be reused. Kara will talk about food waste.
In addition to the waste associated with fast fashion, there's a shocking amount of food waste in the world. In the hospitality industry, hotels contribute a staggering 79,000 tons of food waste, which is about 9% of the overall world food waste from the industry. To understand just how large these numbers are, think of the conveyor belt in the dining hall, plates stacked with food hardly touched by students. When discussing sustainability, it is key to think about scale. So that waste is just a BU dining hall. Well, then it becomes a whole university, the city of Boston, and eventually amounts so large that we have a hard time grasping just how detrimental this level of waste really is. Furthermore, food waste generates a gas different from that of carbon dioxide when it ends up in a landfill. Uneaten food generates methane, a gas that, according to the Natural Resources Defense Council, is actually 86 times more toxic than carbon dioxide. Understanding the pathway of food after we throw it away is necessary to inspire change in our lives and in the lives of others.
Wow, it seems like consumerism is a huge problem in today's society. It's disappointing how much waste we produce and how much harm we do to the environment and its people as a result of our purchases. Thank you for enlightening us, Tianqi and Kara. Seems like we need to put an end to consumerism, right? Well, not exactly. What we really need to do is just limit our consumerist behavior, or modify it. What if we shift our spending from physical goods that are unethically produced and will eventually end up in the landfill to services that can be waste-free while still bringing us joy and satisfaction? Yes, I'm talking about experiences. There are so many ways we can contribute to the economy and support different businesses while reducing our negative behaviors. Some of the wonderful experiences that the hospitality industry has to offer range from simple trips to the theater or zoo to grander excursions such as vacations, cruises, and amusement parks. Consider this. You can spend your money on clothes that you'll eventually stop wearing, or a new iPhone which will become old quickly, both purchases which will eventually end up being discarded. Now consider the alternative. You can go see a ballet, a production that recycles costumes and sets year after year. Or you can go to an amusement park and even bring a lunch with you so as not to feed into the consumer behaviors that amusement parks tend to cultivate. When you look back on your life, what about your generation and its consumer habits will you be proud of? What can you do to modify consumerism into a more positive practice? Well, you can start by pausing for a minute. Next time you feel the urge to spend the day shopping or to go out for dinner, maybe save the money you would be wasting on frivolous material things and go to the zoo instead.
John Powell once said the following phrase, which I believe illustrates the very core of what it means to be a responsible consumer. He said, "To live fully, we must learn to use things and love people, and not love things and use people. Love people, and love the people being impacted by irresponsible consumption by altering how we buy our products. Challenge yourself to think about what it is that you consume and how it aids in your daily life. Does it have personal and sentimental value to you? If so, then yes, keep it and don't feel bad about it. But if not, then evaluate how you can change what you buy and perhaps where you buy it from." Although there are some advantages to consumerism, such as economic support, the world needs to modify consumerism and limit unnecessary purchases of physical goods for both the well-being of the environment and its inhabitants. Individuals can make a remarkable impact when they inspire others, and by and large, a whole city, state, or maybe even country alters how they spend. Scale up and don't forget that one person can in fact create a ripple effect. Thank you very much.